How is it going, guys? Welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about a subject that has been pretty heavy on my mind lately. I've been having a lot of guys reach out to me on Instagram, sending me DMs, telling me that they feel like they're just not making any progress with themselves. Whether that's inside of fitness, whether that is in business, whether that is in just life itself, they feel like they're not really moving forward towards the kind of person that they're supposed to be. And I just want to give a little bit of background into what I have done to be able to go full-time into my own business, quit the job that I hated previously, and become a full-time online fitness coach, as well as losing 80 pounds in the last 2 years and achieving my own dream physique. So we're just going to walk through this, starting from the very top here. You need to create order in your life. Stop floating through life. So many people I know just wake up on a daily basis and they just go through the motions of everything. They don't have an organized schedule. Something that is so crucial to being successful as a man is having some kind of order. You know, what are you doing in the beginning of your day? What do you do in the middle of your day? What do you do towards the end of your day? What are you doing? You know, if you're waking up in the morning and you're opening up your phone, you're getting on TikTok, you're scrolling on Instagram, is that moving the needle forward for you to be able to get closer to the kind of goal that you have for yourself? You have to think about that. Have an organized schedule. Set something up. That has been so helpful for me getting to where I am right now. And you prioritize your downtime more than your sleep. Sleep is such a crucial aspect to being able to put in the kind of work and effort you need in order to grow. You know, people see sleep as, oh, you know, if you have a goal, sleep a little bit less. Use those extra hours to put in more work into whatever you're working on. See, people think about the quantity and not the quality of the work that you put in. They think, oh, if I sleep less, you know, that opens up an extra 2 hours for me to be able to work. Instead of sleeping 8 hours, I could sleep 6 hours. Well, how does your brain function from that? How are you able to put in the kind of effort you need in order to get to where you want to be? You know, if you're looking to gain muscle mass, lose fat, you're going to be able to benefit so much more. If you could just get some extra sleep, you'll be able to put in way more output in terms of volume to your training, as well as you need that kind of recovery to be able to build muscle mass. And if you got to work on something, if you have a business or if you have a career that you're driven to be able to exceed in, try to get better sleep. Prioritize your sleep. You do not want to walk through your day feeling like absolute dog shit because you have not gotten the sleep that you need. So constantly being a people pleaser as well. Stop investing into other people. Start spending time investing into yourself. What can you do for yourself rather than doing for others? I mean, honestly. And look at it like this. It sounds very selfish, but whenever you continue to work on yourself, you build and become the person that you want to be, how can that affect other people around you? What do you think that might do for them? You know, somebody else may look at you like an inspiration because you've put in so much work and effort into developing your craft and you've gotten to the other side. They may end up feeling like, you know what? Maybe I'll do the exact same thing for myself. Maybe I'll start going to the gym. Maybe I'll start my own business. People see that kind of stuff. So invest into yourself because ultimately other people may start investing into themselves as well. You're doing a service to them just by doing a service for yourself. And always stepping into chaos rather than walking away from it. You know, people have friend groups. They've got a lot of people that they get surrounded by and they just want to stir up turmoil. They want to create drama. They want to reel you into that. And oftentimes you'll just walk right into the chaos, then just walk away from it. You know, do not involve yourself into other people's drama if you do not have to. Step away because you do not need your brain space to be taken up by other people's issues. You need to just focus on your own issues rather than other people's issues. Inconsistency creates friction. Friction causes fatigue. When you have a goal set for yourself and you're looking to be able to grow as quick as you can in whatever you have going on right now, it's going to become much more exhausting to not see the result that you're looking for because you can't wake up every single day and do what you're supposed to do. You're going to get more tired just by not seeing the success. You know, so many guys start fat loss journeys. Girls start fat loss journeys. People start fat loss journeys and they end up quitting so early on. Why do you think that is? Because they don't see the result that they're looking for quick enough. They get so caught up with the idea of, oh, I gotta get there this fast. It has to happen this quick. And they just start becoming more inconsistent because they get so caught up in this idea of getting there as fast as possible. You have to be patient. And in order to be consistent, you have to have patience. And if you do not stay patient, you're just going to exhaust yourself. So stay patient, stay consistent, because you're going to feel way worse about yourself if you do not get to where you want to be. And if you don't keep that consistency, you comfort your exhaustion with shit food and you don't do any kind of physical activity in your day. You know, I'm somebody who's a fitness coach. Fitness is a big part of me. It's literally the biggest part of me, I would say. It's changed my entire life. And what I can say is that if you eat shit food, not only are you going to feel worse physically, but even mentally, your mental capacity is much more limited if you're eating McDonald's on a daily basis compared to if you were to just be eating, you know, your consistent foods of chicken, rice, broccoli, beef, eggs, avocados, you know, more healthier options. Learn how to track your food. Use a macro tracking software. It really does become simple if you just start looking at certain ingredients you should be eating, looking at certain foods you should be eating, and tracking how many calories you eat on a daily basis, as well as doing some form of physical activity. Get outside. This isn't even just limited to the gym. Just because I go to the gym 5 days a week doesn't mean you have to. But just make it consistent to do some form of physical activity, just even twice a week if you have to. Try to get to the gym 3 days a week. Or get outside, go for a walk 3 days a week. Try to do a walk every day. Honestly, get outside. Stop staying inside. It will release so much stress in your life if you can do some form of physical activity. There's studies to even show this, that you get a dopamine boost from just doing physical activity. How do you think that might affect your work life and getting to where you want to be for your own, you know, goals in business or career, as well as just, you know, you may have fitness goals in general. If you stay consistent and you do some form of physical activity and you start eating better food, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get to that, you know, to that other side of where you're trying to be. And you aren't forming any conviction upon yourself to change. Dude, this is a huge one because so many people, they like to play the victim card, like, oh, I'm here because of this. I'm here because of this. Somebody else did this and it put me in this position where I'm at now. What if I told you that you're in the position that you're in because of you? You can ultimately change. These are situations that you can control. You know, your own body weight, if you want to lose weight, you can do that. But you have to understand that the reason why you're in the position that you are in right now is because of you and you only. Why are you in the position you're in now? Well, you eat shit food every day. Well, you're sedentary. You lay in your bed and you watch Ozark for hours. You don't do enough. You could be doing much more. Why are you not growing the business that you want? Because you're just not doing the work. You're not doing enough. You get home and you end up saying, well, you know, it's time for me to rest and relax, use my downtime and watch TV or scroll on TikTok or, you know, look at Instagram for a few hours rather than actually just putting that work in. So understand that the reason why you are not where you want to be yet is because of the fact that you have not done enough personally for yourself. Not chasing after the right thing for the right reasons. A lot of people like to chase after, you know, having a great physique or, you know, having more money in business or career. And that just becomes the main driving focus. But what else outside of that makes it purposeful for you? You know, if it's business or career, you know, money is the main thing that people are working for. And it leaves them feeling like they have no meaning. But what kind of meaning can you find out of that? What are you doing to get out of it that goes above and beyond just money. For me, doing fitness coaching, the best part of my day is whenever my clients send me a message and they tell me, dude, you have changed my life. I've lost 80 pounds and it's because of your help, your guidance. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me feel fulfilled. Money can't be the main reason why I do what I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I'd be bored of it. Money can only bring so much. And when it comes to getting your own best physique, if you're looking to be as fit as humanly possible, and your only reason to do it is just to be able to attract women, well, women come and go. But what can you keep from getting that weight off? You can look in the mirror. You can see a better body. You could feel better, more confident in yourself. That's something that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. There's much more meaningful purposes behind these things. Dig deeper for it, because that will keep you doing what you want to be getting at. That'll keep you working towards the result you're looking for. You serve too many masters. Take one step at a time rather than 6. Focus on one thing at a time. You know, for me, a few years ago, I was 255 pounds. I was at my very lowest in life. My bed right behind this camera. I laid there 24 hours a day. I had 2 herniated discs in my back, messed up shoulders, messed up elbows. I was at my very worst. I had a fit physique before, and then I got fat as hell. I lost everything. And I wanted to start my coaching business. I wanted to work on my coaching business. But the way that I saw things was, why the hell would anyone pick me as a coach if I can't even practice what I preach? You know, I need to get myself into the best shape of my life. I need to put the time aside and just focus on becoming healthy. And then I can jump back into coaching and growing my business and growing my career. So for an entire 2 years, I literally invested every ounce of my energy into looking a certain way and feeling a certain way. And then I opened up the opportunity to be able to coach people again. So I lost 80 pounds. In the last 2 years, I went from 255 to 175, going from very fat to lean and pretty damn peeled and feeling better. I felt more confident. I felt like I was in the right mind space to enter into new realms of my life. But getting healthy was ultimately the first thing that I had to do. So just focus on one thing at a time. Get better at one thing at a time rather than focusing on so many different things. People create these crazy ass routines that they follow on a daily basis, and it's all new shit that they've never done before. Like they write out their whole schedule for the day. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then guess what? Their brain becomes so clouded because they've never done these kind of things before. And they really just need to focus on doing that one singular thing, get consistent at it. And once they get consistent at that one thing, then they can dive into the next thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. Focus on one thing at a time. Listening to background noise that amplifies your self-limiting beliefs. You know, there's going to be a lot of people that doubt you. There's going to be a lot of people that put you down and say, why are you even doing this? Is this even worth it? Is this worth your time? Is this worth your energy and your effort? You know, this is very common in business. People who, you know, step into new realms of business, their parents. Parents will always say, oh, you dropped out of college and you think that this is a great idea. You think this is going to be something that's good for you. My parents and I personally, we have a great relationship and they're happy with what I'm doing. But, you know, before it was of question, why are you doing this? Is this a good idea? Is this really the best thing for yourself right now? And a lot of friends would say to me, dude, I don't think this whole coaching thing is going to work out. Or they would say, are you sure this whole coaching thing is going to work out? They would doubt me. And those ideas would be planted into my head. And I would think about them so deeply, like, man, is this going to work? I don't even actually know if this is going to work. I'm just going to keep working towards it though. You know, and that's what I did. And then eventually it got to a point where it was like, I just need to shut everyone out. Shut out all of their ideas. Shut their voice out completely. I don't want to hear a single thing that a person has to say to me about whatever goal that I have for myself. I'm just going to work towards the goal that I have. You keep the fear of failure alive instead of the fear of stagnation. You're so afraid of starting. You're so afraid of taking that first initial step towards where you want to go. Like if you want to start posting on social media If you want to start talking to a camera like I'm doing right now, it just takes that first step. You just have to pull out the camera. You have to talk. You just have to get used to it. You know, it's something that I struggled with deeply for the longest time. I was afraid of talking to the camera because it was just intimidating. There's no person standing there. There's people who might be watching behind the camera after I upload, but there's no one actually standing here looking at me, listening at me. It's just an inanimate object. And that's it. And I was afraid of that. But I have taken the steps to get better at talking to a camera and articulating my words and really just understanding what is going to come out of my mouth before I even say it. That is what I have struggled with for so many years when it came to just getting into social media in general. I was terrified of talking to the camera, but I do it now. I do it now though, and look at where it has gotten me. I've grown my Instagram platform to 30,000 followers. I've almost 70,000 followers on TikTok. I've grown my platform. I've grown it, and it's because I've taken those steps to be able to, reach this level. I became more afraid of being stuck than failing. That's the mindset. You need to be so afraid of being stuck in the position that you're in order to actually grow into the kind of person that you want to be. That is how you progress through life. So, ultimately, guys, the most important thing to take away from this is understand that you are in full control of your situation. You can grow. You can become the person that you want to be. You just have to actually do what it takes to get there. There's so many different things that come with this. This is like a fraction of what it takes to become the man you want to be. But you can do it. You just have to hold yourself accountable. You have to put the work in every single day. If you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you feel like you've obtained any kind of value from this, drop it in the comments below. And if you are looking to get into one-on-one fitness coaching with me, you could DM me the word coach on Instagram, or you could apply in the application down below. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching.